Hello, everyone. I am Matthew Thomas. I'm with this week's featured artist of the week, Kaleido, out of the Motor City. And joining me is the front woman, Christina Chriss. Thank you for hanging out.
Hey, thanks for having me.
How's everything going?
It's going great.
Very good. And I know, the COVID, everything going on. How have you been staying busy during this time?
I have stayed busy doing a little bit of traveling, as odd as that sounds, but spending time in nature and doing some cool inspirational things to stay up because it has been very strange. This is the longest I have ever gone without performing in like the entirety of my career. So it's been very weird and sad at times because I haven't been able to perform with my band. So I've been just taking the time to kind of like decompress, be inspired, and enjoy nature and stay healthy.
Yes, yeah, that's a very big thing. Yeah, I saw some of your stories on Facebook. I think did you go to the outer Painted Rocks, Michigan?
Yeah, I did an entire like week-long tour of Michigan. And what's crazy is I'm born and raised in Michigan my whole life, and I have visited nearly every single state in the lower, United States, minus like Hawaii and Alaska, obviously. But I had never gone to the Upper Peninsula, and I've lived in Michigan my whole life. So it's like a whole nother world, and I got to experience that this summer, and it was so beautiful and cool. And I would highly recommend to anyone who's never visited there, you should make the trip because it's worth it.
Yeah, I thought about going last year. I didn't have the chance though with everything going on, but I do. It looked really beautiful up
It
there.
is. It's like it's a completely different world than lower like southeast Michigan, which is where I grew up. It's just completely different. I was blown away by the beauty.
Yeah, it looked very chill and very relaxing out there.
Oh yeah. I'm all about the chill and relaxing.
Right on. And I haven't seen you guys since last year, actually, almost a year ago, in November at the Music Factory. It was Pirate Blaze, you guys, Elsie Banks, and Stitched Up Heart. It was a fantastic show. And so I do want to see you guys hopefully sometime when everything clears up, obviously.
Yeah, I can't wait to get back out there, especially miss touring. It's one of my favorite things in the whole world to do. And I've been missing it. I have been missing it bad. So I can't wait until things are under control enough where it's safe to do that again.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the safety of everybody, everyone going to, you guys, everyone at the shows, it's, yeah, definitely a top priority. So, and I want to start kind of at the beginning. How did Kaleido come together, and how did you guys choose the name Kaleido?
Well, Kaleido started in Metro Detroit. Joey Fava, who's the drummer of the band, and I formed it. He was in a separate band. I was in a different band at the time, and both of our groups were kind of naturally dissolving. And we started writing together, and we're like, this is pretty cool. Maybe we should put a band around this. And so we started working on it, and we were actually driving to a studio to record one of our very first songs that was off of our first EP. This is back in 2012. And I was just kind of zoning out, staring out the window of the car on the way there. And I said, Kaleido. And that was honestly the first name that I suggested that he didn't hate right away. And so it kind of, we like let it simmer a little bit, kind of like sat on it for a minute. And then we were like, that's cool. We still like it. Like, let's roll with that. Because I had suggested some other names before, and I wasn't really that crazy about them either. And he was always just like, no, 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 I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. But then like that one just like dropped out of the sky, literally. I gotta like give that one up to the universe. Like it just popped into my head randomly. And it makes great sense for the band. It's like I look at a human life and experience as a kaleidoscope. Many different pieces, often imperfect, come together to create something beautiful. So it really fits with like the vibe of our music as well, subject wise.
Yeah, for sure. Especially listening to you guys' music and the subjects you guys talk about. Yeah, for sure. And it was kind of, I like just kind of a freak accident, just how it happened too.
That's usually how the best stuff happens, man. That just like hits you out of nowhere, and then you're like, gotta go with it. You're like, man, that came to me for a reason. I'm not gonna mess with it. Let's go.
Yeah, you guys been rolling with it ever since. And you released your latest EP was last year. No, really, I'm fine, which that deals with some more heavier topics in the No, really, I'm fine EP.
Yeah, that um, group of songs means so much to me because it was really the first time I felt comfortable enough and confident enough to speak out on some of those subjects. And I'm really happy that I did because it's reached a lot of people and it's helped them. And I get a lot of great feedback on how much those songs mean. And that's exactly what I set out to do with releasing that. So I'm very happy to know it's like out in the world doing that for people.
Yeah, and actually, I got my copy right here. Uh,
Hey.
yeah, no, and I've definitely connected with this as well. Especially pretending, especially when you hear someone else say that it's okay to not be okay sometimes. It really means a lot because I feel like I have to be like I have to say that I'm okay or I have to be fine. And hearing someone else say that definitely it reached me.
I'm so happy to hear that, man. That's like, it means a lot to me. And, I myself I've wished that someone would have said that to me before, too. So I'm happy that I can remind others on that, especially now with the state of the world and all of the craziness. Like, you just can't hold yourself to too high of standards, when it comes to being okay with everything that's going on all the time. Like, it's okay to not be okay sometimes and take a moment for yourself and wrap your head around what's really going on. And I especially like the sometimes of it because it's not okay to not be okay all the time, but sometimes it is. And you need that. And sometimes you need to be down to appreciate when you're up as well. So
Yeah,
I'm so happy to hear that you like that song, and I'm so happy to hear that it's helped you through difficult times too. Just remind yourself uh, of that. It's okay to not be okay sometimes.
yeah, yeah. I mean, we all go for ups and downs, but as you eloquently said, when you're down, you can appreciate when you're up as well. So
Yeah,
how was the writing and recording that EP?
it was fun. Actually, one of the best experiences recording that I've ever had. We did that with a really great friend of ours. Shout out to Michael Martinson and Jake Seamer, who are both in a band called Boys of Fall. So check them out when you get a chance to, because they are amazing musicians and their music is great. They're wonderful friends of ours, and we were able to come together and work on that project. And I'm just so happy with how it turned out because we were kind of able to just do our thing. There wasn't too much like outside like moving and changing things. We just like embraced what it was and made it the best that we could and had fun doing it.
Yeah, I can definitely tell there's a definite shift. You released Experience in 2017, and then No, really, I'm fine. And you definitely tell there's a musical shift there with like the topics and the subjects and everything. I really enjoyed Experience as well, but you definitely tell. I think the level of confidence went up with No, really, I'm fine.
Yes, thank you. I think that I was like waiting to talk about those things for a while, and so when I finally felt confident enough to do that, I was like, it's go time. Hell yeah, like I'm ready to talk about this shit. So let's like do it for real.
Yeah, and I think it released at a perfect time, last year, especially with everything going on this year. It's definitely music people should listen to, especially right now. And I noticed, I believe it was the last month, you released the deluxe version of Experience.
Yeah, we actually went back and re-recorded a couple of songs that we had released, I believe, in 2014, and we reissued a couple of those, and just wanted to kind of throw a little new refresher deluxe edition out there.
Yeah, I like that you included Unbreakable because I noticed like outside of Spotify you couldn't really find Unbreakable like outside like YouTube and Spotify.
Yeah, there's a method to my madness, but yeah, that was a request from our fans. They're like, "What happened to it?" And so we decided to do that, and I'm glad that people can have that song again too, because I really like that song. You know, that's motivational, like inspirational, underlying subjects within the music is really important to me, and that's one of my favorite ones of ours, just subject wise, you know, and building strength and empowering people.
Yeah, no, I really dug Experience, you know, throughout the whole album, but to see Unbreakable on the deluxe edition, I was like, yes.
I'm glad you like it.
And I noticed, I believe it was a month ago, 2 months ago, you released, actually, sorry, you collaborated with Jay Vinci to release Forever. How was it working with Jay?
It was awesome. It's really organic and fun. We actually have a bunch of songs that we've done together. That's just the first one that has been released. So I'm excited to put some more of those out. But it was a very like organic and authentic, fun experience, and it came very easily for us. So it's cool when you kind of like hit it with a collab where it's just like not forced at all. You know, it kind of just like it feels right, and that's how that song came to be. That was the first song that we ever wrote together, and cool that it's the first one that's actually released.
Yeah, and I really like the message in it that the bad times won't last forever. That there's going to be a light at the end of the tunnel. I really dig that. Again, it spoke to me, and I'm sure it spoke to a lot of people as well.
Thank you. Again, timing, right? It's a great message for the times that we've found ourselves in.
Yeah, yeah, and then just seemed to keep going too. But I know,
I know, dude. When is it gonna end?
well, hopefully there'll be some light at the end of the tunnel. I hope soon.
It has to be. It has to. That it just has to.
Yeah, and it won't last forever.
True that.
So, you guys, at least from my research, Kaleido, you're an independent band, correct? Not signed to a record label.
Yes.
So, what are some of the challenges and advantages of being an independent band?
I feel that a lot of the advantages and challenges kind of uh, intertwine because an advantage is you are in full control and you can do whatever you want whenever you want. And then on the other side of that, you have to do everything, and you're kind of responsible for delegating the tasks and being in charge. So that's cool, and then a challenge sometimes as well. But I just like the independence. I like the artistic freedom, and I like being able to release what I want when I want. So it's been cool. It's we've released Experience with a label, and I enjoyed putting No Really I'm Fine out on our own, and I'm really happy we chose to do that because again, we kind of did everything on our terms, and it turned out exactly how we wanted it to.
And that's always good, yeah. And I talked to a lot of bands. I asked that question because I always want to see like what they think are challenges and advantages. But a lot of them say it's independence to do whatever you want without people saying you have to write it like this or you have to sing it like this. It's nice to have your own independence, but you're right. You have to do everything. You have to have the merch. You have to make the shows. You have to perform. You have to do everything.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, but it's a labor of love, and I'm very passionate about what I do, so I don't mind. It doesn't feel like working. They say, that when you're doing something that you're passionate about, you'll never work a day in your life. Well, I don't think that's entirely true because it is a lot of hard-ass work, but it's fun, I enjoy it.
Yeah, and I can see definitely when you guys are on stage, you guys are having a lot of fun. I can see, you bring the energy, the intensity, the passion to the stage every time you guys are on it.
Yeah, performing live is like definitely if I had to rank like every aspect of being a musician and in a band, it's being in front of a crowd, delivering the songs that you wrote, and feeling that energy exchange. It's nothing like it else in the world, really, that feeling. So we really pride ourselves on having a high energy show and getting people into it, you know? Feel
Yeah,
something.
and the crowd I was with in Battle Creek, it was insane. It was awesome. I know you crowd surfed in the crowd.
I miss that so much. I actually just like put a picture of that in my story the other day because it popped up as a memory, and I was like, oh, I miss crowd surfing, and who knows if that'll ever be able to happen again. Like, that is about as hands-on as it possibly gets, you know what I'm saying? So who knows? I'm going to just, like, cherish those memories forever. I wish I would have known when I was doing that, like, to even soak it in even more, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
no more crowd surfing, like, no more concerts. What the heck?
Yeah, I did, like, you told the crowd, don't drop me during that show, and they almost dropped, like, you're getting almost back to the stage, and they almost dropped you.
I know.
It wasn't me. It was not me. I was on the other side.
Well, I just saw your shirt.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Hell
I'm
yeah.
repping Kaleido.
Awesome. Yeah, that I remember that show. I always kind of do give that disclaimer. Sometimes people like freeze up a little bit, and I'm like, "Don't drop me, man. Please, get me back to the stage."
You've never been dropped while crowd surfing, have you?
No,
Oh,
actually.
that's good.
Thank God. Knock on wood. If I ever get to crowd surf again, but yeah, no, they never drop me.
That's good. I mean, you got to finish the set.
Yeah, I've been in some crazy ass crowds though. I've gone and like crawled down in there. And sang like in the pit. I've done that a few times besides crowd surfing, like just getting in the thick of things. And that's been pretty gnarly making my way back to the stage. Like luckily a few of those times I had a wired microphone and I'm kind of just like getting back to the stage like a tether. It's like a lifeline back to the stage.
Yeah, those are all like just the wild, crazy, like the standing room only shows. They're always a lot of fun, but there's always a slight level of danger in there.
Yeah, and now in this new world, there's like a whole other side to that, like some added danger. So, yeah, crazy.
Yeah,
I love it though, man. I miss it. I can't stop saying it. I miss it so much. I can't wait to be doing it again.
yeah, and not only for you guys performing, but also for people like me and everyone who likes going to concerts. We haven't had it. Like the last one I saw was the Alta Bridge in February.
And the last show that Kaleido played was in December, 2019 December. And here we are in August. It's like, I never thought it would go on this long, and I've tentatively booked a few things with hopes that it would get better, and we've had to drop off because it's just not better yet, and it's actually gotten worse, and it's like, kind of like doing this whole roller coaster vibe. So I have had positive high hopes, and it just hasn't come together yet. So fingers crossed. I guess hopefully 2021.
And no fun till 2021.
Oh, dang, I like that. That's good. That's good. I need to use that.
Shout out to my brother because I stole that from him.
Right on. Credit to your brother.
So Andy, if you're watching, that's for you. And it was the St. Andrew's Hall. That was in December, right?
Yeah.
I was supposed to go to that show, but I had to work the next day, so I couldn't make it.
It was a great show. That one was with Boys of Fall, and I had no idea at the time that was going to be the last one.
Yeah, and well, no one ever thinks like that. That this might be the last time I'm on stage for almost a whole year or more. No one ever thinks like when I went to my last concert, like, oh, this could be my last concert of this year. Like no one thinks like that.
No, I mean, I don't think anybody saw this coming like this,
Yeah, especially a lot of oh, we got the green light to do this, and then like the next day, oh, it's off. It's so much of that stuff that it's frustrating, but it's just we got to get through it.
And we will. We will. Got to stay positive.
For sure. Yeah, positive mindset, especially during this time. Like everyone needs it. And I always ask my guests this question because I'm always very curious. What music are you listening to right now, Christina?
I've been jamming out to a lot of this new MGK stuff that he's dropping. This Tickets to My Downfall. I've been digging that, and especially because I think it's dope, but my friend Thrasher, who is in Escape the Fate, he worked on a lot of this new stuff, and I'm a big fan of him. Actually had the opportunity to write a few songs with him too that I'm looking forward to dropping, hopefully in the near future. So yeah, that new MGK, it's got it with the Travis Barker, like he's giving me a lot of nostalgic vibes. I really like that. It's getting some attention right now. This is like real music and it's got this rock vibe. So that's been pretty dope lately. Also, yeah, I dig some of that new Youngblood stuff, and let's see, I listen to all kinds of music. Growing up in Detroit, I come from a very eclectic group of influential artists like Kid Rock and Eminem. My parents were listening to classic rock, and I was rocking out ever since I was real little. So I like all kinds of music. I like to just stay up on what's dropping and check it out.
Yeah, and I haven't listened to the new Machine Gun Kelly yet. I listened to the first single, Why Are You Still Here, but I haven't listened to the rest of the album. I didn't even know it actually came out yet.
The whole album's not, but he did just drop another single with Black Bear. That one's pretty dope. So yeah, check it out. I like it. The Travis Barker's, you can tell it's Travis on there. It's like a cool sound.
Yeah, it's pop punk that I think kind of gone away for a while. So now
Yeah,
it's
that's what
cool
I'm
that
saying.
someone's
Like
actually
the
bringing it back.
nostalgia of it.
Yes. Yeah, I got to see Escape the Fate was I saw them in February with Falling in Reverse, so I thought that was really cool. That was
Yeah, that's
fantastic.
a great pairing right there, obviously. And I did get to see them when they toured last year too. And those are the homies. So shout out to those dudes too.
Yeah, they always put on a killer show, especially with Falling in Reverse. So thank you, Christina, for hanging out with me. Very fun time chatting with you. I
Hell
got
yeah, thanks for having me.
hey, featured artist on Super Cool Radio.
Hell yeah, go stream Kaleido. Go stream that new Vinci and Kaleido collab. It's called Forever. Stream it on Spotify, add it to some playlists. Help spread the love.
Yes, yes. Spread as much love as you can for Kaleido and check out their No Really I'm Fine EP that I'm gonna hold up one more time. Got to get it in there. But I got one more thing before we go. I know it's a little bit hard because it is 2020, but what are your future plans for this year?
Dropping music. I have some stuff that's done, even a video that's done. I just have to put it out. And so just going to keep on writing and keep on creating and just hopefully start to really put it pedal to the metal with releasing a lot of new material because we have a whole bunch of it that we're just kind of sitting on. So I guess it's time to put it out.
And I'm really looking forward to it. I know I've been jamming Kaleido all week, just getting ready for this interview, so I'm really looking forward to it.
Thank you so much.
And hey, thank you for hanging out with me. I really appreciate it.
You are super cool.
Yes,
Hey.
yes. Thank you. Finally got someone in the interview who said that.
Hell yeah. Thanks for having me.
Hey, thank you so much. And hopefully when everything clears up, probably 2021, we'll have some fun. Get to see Kaleido.
Well, actually, I'm going to just drop a little hint right now about something that I actually am not allowed to officially announce yet. But I can say that I have something cool. It's booked, and I will be releasing details when I'm given permission to. But keep your eyes peeled because it's probably going to be a show, and it's 2020 edition. So just a little hint right there. More info coming soon.
Well, I'm really looking forward to whatever that announcement will be in 2020. I'm looking forward to it.
Hell yeah. Thanks again.
Thank you. Feature Artist of the Week, Kaleido. Christina Chriss, frontwoman of Kaleido. Thank you so much.
Thank you.